Is my voice clear? Am I audible in the back? Okay, great. So before we start, uh, what did we do in the last class? Triz. We did Triz. Hmm? What did we do in the last class? We looked at the 39 cross 39 matrix, the 40 inventor principles, the the solutions to some problems, Jenrich-Schauchuller, some patents we're talking about. Okay, how the how the science evolved. So basically, we actually just had a quick glimpse, or we had a quick introduction to what is TRIZ. TRIZ is theory of inventive problem solving. It is a systematic method of innovation or problem solving. Hmm. And TRIZ, if you turn it into English, would represent theory of inventive problem solving. And we saw that uh, the basic premise or the most fundamental aspect about TRIZ that we understood was that just like in complex problem solvings in, let's say, physics or chemistry or other domains of knowledge, math, we have different levels of abstraction to which we take a problem, we solve it there, and then we bring it back to the real case. We took the example of algebra. We took some equation x square plus 9x plus 5 is equal to 0. And if we have to solve it, we could do a hit and trial method. Or we could say, okay, this represents ax square plus bx plus c, and we can arrive at the standard solutions, which are minus b plus minus root of b square minus 4ac by 2a, and so on. So this is converting a specific problem into a generic form, solving or using the generic solution, and then arriving at the specific solution to your problem. We also took the example of copper sulfate and iron pilings. And we said that I do not, once I have a generic formulation available and I know how to ladder into that generic formulation, then I do not need to do all the experimentation myself. Am I right? And then we said, okay, can we do something similar for problem solving? And then we arrived at, okay, this does something that does something like this. And we looked at three different abstractions which TRIZ commonly uses to solve problems. The first one is, which is the first one? Problem identification. I'm not talking about problem solving, identification. Okay, so what we also did was that we realized that in TRIZ methodology, when we go into it, there is a complete one stage of problem identification, then another stage of problem solving, and a third stage of problem elaboration or finally making it work. So हम problem solving के अंदर we are talking about three different stages or three different abstraction levels. The first one that we got introduced to, we will go in much more detail later. What was? Mind map was a tool we learned in the first class. The flowchart. Technical contradiction, where we said we know that typically engineers are solving are doing a balancing act. Area versus power, speed versus power, area versus speed. And that balancing act is just an act of optimization then. Real inventive solutions come when you improve both parameters that are being traded off. And we then said that, okay, after reading those 2 lakh patents, Altshuler had created that 39 cross 39 matrix and distributed those 40 principles across that matrix. That is the technical, and that is one way to solve technical contradictions. Remember? We talked about the 14 inventive, we talked about the Panama Canal, the principle of equipotentiality, talked about so many things when we're talking about the technical contradiction matrix. Hmm? Then this we said is the lowest level of abstraction. The lowest is obviously your specific problem and your specific solution. But okay, जब हम ladder करने लगे तो हमने कहा this is the fastest, the quickest means to find, to direct your energies only in 4 directions of inventive principles, not 40 of them. And what was the second method that we looked at? Physical contradictions. What are physical contradictions? लिखा हुआ है आपके सामने, but what are physical contradictions? Improving one parameter degrades the other parameter means we are still about a technical contradiction. Physical contradiction was when there is one substance, one physical entity, which needs to exhibit 2 opposing physical properties. We took the example of those logs, which we have to dig inside soil. And we said they have to be sharp, but they have to be blunt. Sharp so that they can dig fast, blunt so that they can offer stability to the house. The same point, we are expected to have 2 different opposing characteristics. That was physical contradictions. Don't worry, we will go into it in much more detail. But what is important for you to realize is that if you are a part of this session as a spectator, then this is what is going to happen. Somehow, I realize that we have lost the habit of writing notes. You come here to watch a movie only. Then what happens? The next day, when something is being asked, you have no clue. See, I have discussed this in many other sessions also, and I will repeat this here. At least for some of you, it is a repetition, but some of you, could be new knowledge or new deduction that you will arrive at. See, when you are watching me and listening to me, you're only activating your eyes and your ears, 2 senses. Only some parts of your brain are getting activated. But when you start to write down, what happens? The motor skills also get activated. And to activate your hand or to activate any other part of your body, you have to go through the spine. So the entire spine actually gets activated. So if you activate more of your brain, will you retain more or will you retain less? So when you write notes, you retain more. It's not just about that. Also, when you start to write notes, in the process of writing, you have to synthesize whatever I said. You cannot obviously write down each and every word that I said. Can you? So in that process of synthesizing, other parts of your brain, the cognitive parts of your brain also kick in. Otherwise, you're just watching a movie. Then you say, यार सर क्या बोलते हैं समझ में ही नहीं आ रहा अगली क्लास में पता ही नहीं होने वाला क्या है So please take out your notebooks and write. Many of you also are now today completely averse to the idea of using notebooks, iPads, है ना? But when you write something on paper, there is a friction that you're working with. There is more force you have to apply. More force application means the motor skills get triggered still more. So while writing notes on iPad is also okay, I would strongly recommend using pen and paper. If you have not bought registers in your entire engineering career yet, I would still strongly recommend, it's not too late. Please bring it on. Okay. And don't be here just as a spectator. You're not here to watch a movie. In this course, you have to be actively involved. And writing notes is the first step of active involvement. अभी तो हम बहुत सारी चीजों पे आएंगे जहां पे आपको बहुत एक्टिवली इन्वॉल्व होना पड़ेगा. तो अगर आपको नोट्स लिखने से भी किल्लत हो रही है तो अभी भी मौका है. अदरवाइज पूरा सेमेस्टर टॉर्चर है. Okay. So physical contradictions were the second kind of laddering or second level of abstraction, a little more involved. Because now you have to go deeper into the system and identify which was this one physical component which had to exhibit two opposing parameters. This is not obvious. See, जब तक हम technical contradiction पे थे, it was obvious, it was only symptomatic. I increased the power and speed improved. Talking only about symptoms, something that you can easily observe. Physical contradictions wanted or require you to go into depth now. So there is more of system analysis that you will have to do, which was the next level of abstraction that we talked about. Substance field diagrams. What are substance field diagrams? Barrier. Presents technical systems as interactive substances, and then we can apply the inventive solutions. So, substance field diagrams are actually like chemical equations. Copper sulfate plus iron mix kara, there is standard rule. Us rule ko apply karke, we know that it will become ferrous sulfate and copper. Substance field diagrams are like that. If you arrive at a substance field diagram of a system, then we looked at the example of that orange orchards and hydrophiles. Completely different systems. एक पानी में दौड़ रहा है, दूसरा बंदरों को हैंडल करने की बात कर रहा है. But same substance field diagram. And do you realize same solution? What was the solution there? That was the specific solution. Substance field diagram का solution क्या था? So when there are two substances which are interacting in a harmful way, introduce a variation of first substance or second substance so that the harmful interaction is mitigated. हमने exactly यही करा था. Hydrophiles के लिए we had modified water. We converted into ice. And orange orchards के लिए we said either langur or lemons. Modification. Either substance modification works. Are you with me? So we'll come to tris, but not today. This was just a recap of what we did last time. And also it's to reinforce to you that you have to be alert. So we will now come to a quick exercise. I want you to list down as many uses of baking soda as possible in your notebook. In your notebook, list down as many uses of baking soda as you can think of. And you have exactly 1 minute to do this. List down as many uses of baking soda as you can think of. as many uses of baking soda as you can think of. 10 seconds left. Stop. So how many of you wrote down more than 20 uses? वैसे देख रहे हैं 20? क्या बात कर रहे हो? Okay. More than 15 users? 10 users? No one wrote even 10? Okay. 9? 8? Okay. Anyone more? Anyone else? 8? Okay. 7? 7? 9? Acha, 9. 6? You were getting ready to raise your hand at 6. I get that. Okay. 5? Okay. So let's ask 8. Which uses did you use, Anushri? Cleaning purpose. Okay. Putting it in cakes. Okay. Washing. Dough preparation. Okay. In chemistry labs, you could use it. Okay. Okay. In soft drinks also. Okay. While painting also you use baking soda. Okay. Lemon also you put baking soda. Okay. Good. Shivani? Cooking, cleaning utensils, floor cleaning, removing odor as gastric medicine for gastric trouble. Okay. Cleaning clothes and beverage को भी clean करना होता है. And in beverages. Okay. 6. Okay. Anything new? Brushing teeth. Okay. Okay. Cooking dhokla. Okay. So an anti-allergen मतलब antihistamine types. Okay. Toothpaste में उसने बोला दांत साफ करने के लिए. Deodorants. Okay. Fire extinguishers. Very nice. Science experiments. Okay. Batter preparation. Art and craft. Okay. So now you know so many more users now. So I give you another 1 minute. Write down as many more uses of baking soda as you can think of in the next 1 minute. Time starts now. 5 seconds left. Quickly. Okay, stop. So now more than 20 users. अभी नहीं? Okay, more than 15 users. 1 5. Okay, 15. Okay, 15. 15. Okay, 14, 13. तुम्हें क्या हुआ? Okay, 12. Okay, let's just hear out those more than 15. कौन था more than 15? हाँ. Which ones did you add now? So which ones were they? No, no, no. I want all. You had earlier 7. So now you're saying more than 15. So I want the list of every new use case that you added in your list. Toothpaste, dough preparation, antacid, fire extinguisher, deodorants, science experiments, painting, art and craft, baking, beauty industry, bleaching. Okay, nice. 15 wale? No, I want list of all the ones that you added. You added. Toothpaste, fire extinguisher, soft drinks, paints, anti-allergic crackers, palm fields, batter, science experiments. Okay. Who else was 15? तुमने क्या add करे? I want the list, exact list that you added. Cleaning, cooking, chemical reagent, washing, anti-acid, anti-allergic, dough, soft drinks, brushing, perfume, fire extinguisher, paints, dyes, refrigerant also somewhere. Okay. तो ये सारे यूजर्स हमने डिस्कस करे थे ना, इससे ज्यादा करे थे, तो 15 से ऊपर तो सभी क्या होने चाहिए थे? Why did you not put? हाँ, तुमने कहा कि कुकिंग तो एक ही पॉइंट हो गया. ओके, फिर था तुम्हें लगा रेपिटेटिव है. ओके. Okay. Okay. What did I ask you to do? Did I say to ask you to reduce anything? Did I ask you anything is bad? I did not ask you anything is bad. I told you to write as many users as possible. We discussed more than 20 users in the previous round. Lekin in this round, no one of you has more than 20 users. Did I tell you that? Did I tell you write down 20 new users? What was my question to you? Write down as many users of baking soda as possible. What did you do? We'll come to that. Just think about it, okay? Now, last round. Last round. I'm giving you another 30 seconds now. Write down as many users of baking soda as you can think of. 30 seconds. Your time starts now. You can think about how it looks. You can think about where it could be used. You could think about different places, bathroom, kitchen, this air generator. You can think about different parts of your body. Whatever you want to think of, think about it. I want as many uses of baking soda as possible. Think about its chemical properties, think about its physical properties. How does it feel? What is its texture? What is its color? Think about anything and everything. I want as many uses of baking soda as possible. And your time ends. Stop. Now, more than 20 users. Okay. अभी भी तीन ही लोग हैं, चार लोग, ओके, पांच, छह, more than 20 users, six people, okay, more than 15 users, okay. अब तो मतलब 15 से ऊपर क्यों नहीं हुए अब? What happened? So let's do this quickly. I want to understand from you. I want to understand from you what were your creativity boosters. Just give me a second. I will share my screen a little differently. Okay. What were the boosters of creativity for you? How did you come up with new ideas? Let's first go into that part. Then we will come to बाकियों के साथ क्या हुआ. आप सबने, every one of you had more than 5-10 users, 5 users सबसे सबके थे. Anyone less than 5 users at the end of third round? Less than 10 users at the end of third round? 10 users सबने डाल दिए हैं कम से कम. Okay. So what helped you to be creative? Huh? Color, texture. Okay. This was about this particular problem. I want to go you to go a little deeper. हाँ. अब एक एक करके जोर जोर की बोलो, एक एक करके बोलो लेकिन. So other people's ideas. Okay. Then okay. So other people's ideas open new pathways for you of thinking for you. Okay. So you started to elaborate. You started to say, okay, what more? Okay. Okay. What else? Huh? You related it to your regular experience, day-to-day experience. Okay. You, in a way, kind of laddered out of specific problem or name. Am I right? हमने कहा डे टू डे में कहाँ यूज कर, बेकिंग सोडा नाम से बेकिंग लग रहा है मुझे, मैं किचन में घुसा नहीं आज तक, लेकिन मेरे को यूज करने को कहा जा रहा है, मैं क्या करूं? ओके. टाइम. सो मोर टाइम, लेस टाइम. ओके. टाइम टू थिंक. You had time to think. Okay. What else? Sorry? Recall. Okay. So time to think gave you more time to recall. Okay. Elaborated problem statement also more. Okay. Okay. What else? इसी को हम कह सकते हैं thinking out of the box. Okay. What else? बस. What happened when I told you कि भाई आपके पास बस 30 सेकेंड हैं. 1 मिनट की जगह मैंने लास्ट राउंड में टाइम कम कर दिया था आपके लिए. तो क्या हुआ? Did something happen within you? क्या? What was that? A sense of urgency came? Sense of a crisis? अरे यार, अभी भी नहीं करा तो बेइज्जती होगी. हाँ. So in a way, uh, जहां पे हमने टाइम को कहा कि टाइम टू थिंक की बात है, वहीं पे जब हमने टाइम को कम करा तो एक सेंस ऑफ अर्जेंसी भी आई। आर यू विद मी? देन देयर इज आल्सो दिस social expectation to be creative that helped you. Hmm? Okay, what else? Competition, okay. That spirit, वो सोशल में ही डाल सकते हैं कि औरों के साथ जो सोसाइटी में आपके साथ हैं, कंपटीशन। ओके, व्हाट एल्स? ड्राइव टू इंटेंट टू थिंक समथिंग यूनिक। ओके, ओके। विजुअलाइजेशन। एनीथिंग एल्स? So what we've done just now is we've, based on our just this 5 minutes exercise, we have started to discover what helps us to be creative. Are you able to see this? See, creativity is not something that is limited to one or two people. वो उसने पहले सबसे पहले सबसे ज्यादा ideas दिए, but later she was not in the top list. She was somewhere behind. What happened? Other people acquired the skill to be more creative. So creativity is a skill that can be acquired. No one is born creative. In fact, I would say everyone is born creative. Okay. Now let us look at what stopped you from being creative. Is it okay? Should we look at that also? Because you're sabotaging yourself. अभी अभी आपने देखा है, you could come up with more than 10 ideas, each one of you. But somehow, first time, someone came with 2 ideas, someone came with 4 ideas. 5 से ऊपर ही गिनती के, I could count on my fingers. All right? So we are sabotaging ourselves. What is happening? What are the things that are preventing us from being creative? Hmm. What stopped you from coming up with new ideas? Assumptions, okay? Assumptions about the problem itself. Hmm? Categorizing, matlab? Okay, so okay, assumption आपका आपने problem को ही ऐसे समझा. Okay, what else stopped you from being creative? Lack of knowledge. Let us say knowledge. Okay. Sorry, doing what regularly? Baking soda. Okay. Lack of practice. मुझे नहीं पता बेकिंग सोडा की क्या प्रैक्टिस करनी थी तुम्हें, बट ओके, आई राइट इट डाउन देयर. ओके, व्हाट एल्स? There were limitations posed by the environment. Fear of getting it wrong, huh? Hmm. Problem. No, assumptions about the problem. Okay. Time. Okay. Repetitive thinking was a blocker for you. So you got into a loop and first got fixated on one idea or 2 ideas. Okay. Hmm. How do we put it? That would be um, okay. Generalizing something. Okay, what else? So go back to the second round. At the end of first round, we easily had more than 15 ideas on the table. When we did the second round, only one or two people had 15 or more ideas in their list. What happened? So you kind of categorize them, you clubbed them all together. Okay. But that did not happen with everyone else. What happened with others? So you thought that if someone has already thought of an idea, I can't use it. So what we can write down that as a not invented here syndrome. कि किसी और ने बोल दिया मैं क्यों लिखूं? ऐसा हुआ कितनों के साथ ऐसा हुआ? ये तो किसी और ने बोल दिया ऑलरेडी. Okay. Then what else? Why were others not able to come to more than 15? 15 तो हमने यहीं पे डिस्कस करे थे. एक हमने कहा we have clubbed ideas, दूसरा कहा not invented here syndrome. What happened to others? So you had this fear of getting something wrong. Why that fear? Huh? Fear of society. What will others say? Fear of ridicule. कि लोग हंसेंगे मेरे पे, सारे मेरे दोस्त हैं, सारे मेरे को जानते हैं. क्या बाकी सारे मेरे से छोटे हैं? They will laugh at me. Many things. So again, do you realize that by doing all this, what have you done? Little by little, day by day, you've been sabotaging your creativity. Are you able to see this? You're boxing yourself into. किसी ने ऐसा कहा कि नहीं है, मैं ये आइडिया ना मेरे को जचता नहीं है. Anyone felt like this? ये आइडिया मैं नहीं दे सकता, कोई और दे दे. किसी के साथ ऐसा हुआ? हाँ, हुआ था, लेकिन she overcome that, but कुछ ने तो नहीं लिखा. हाँ? So again, that is a fear of I have a personality. हाँ? मैं अगर ऐसा लिखूंगा तो लोग क्या कहेंगे? Again, something to do with society. आर्यन में हमने कहा कि लैक ऑफ नॉलेज, नॉलेज लिखा मैंने वहां पे, जान के वैसा लिखा. आप लोगों ने, आप में से किसी ने कहा था मुझे पता नहीं है बेकिंग सोडा कैसे यूज होता है. नाउ हु हैज यूज्ड बेकिंग सोडा ओवर हियर अर्लियर? Many of you have used. Who have used it in the kitchen as a baking soda? So did you also not feel that because I know that it is baking soda, नाम में ही baking आ गया, तो I know this is what it is, and I cannot think of anything else. Now, anyone over here who thought when I talked about texture, color, anything, anyone thought of it like chalk powder? Anyone thought of a use like rangoli? So now, what did you do when you did this? Now, will you ever use baking soda for rangoli? No. But those who think baking soda is for baking food, that knowledge becomes a barrier. कि ये तो वहां यूज होता है. Now, are you realizing that each of these, so अगर इसको दोबारा से देखो, मैं दूसरा चार्ट दोबारा से आपको दिखाता हूं. What you will notice is that time, किसी ने कहा paucity of time was a trigger because I got the sense of urgency, survival skills kicked in, and I could come up with more ideas quickly. Someone else said, I didn't have time to think. I didn't get sufficient time to think. I wanted to contemplate. Are you able to see this? Knowledge. More knowledge, problem. Less knowledge, problem. Somehow, we human beings have a capacity and the capability to turn everything into a problem. Is it not? How do we get past those problems? First, by being aware. Oh, this is my block. This is where I have a trap. I get trapped into this kind of a situation. So getting to know what you are as a creative person is a very important thing to really being more creative. Are you able to see this? You had a question? Okay. So before we go further, let me share with you what these people did. So when this exercise was given to different groups, then an adult average was around 13. And a school children group, 5th class, recorded 174 ideas. Now, okay, we collect your ideas in this group. We will also have something around 40, 50 ideas because some are unique. We didn't even discuss the last round. So we will also probably get with 50, 60 ideas, 70 ideas. But a student group, smaller size than this class, 174. And one of the ideas that they did come up with was that I will mix it in red color or mix it in red dye and gargle with it to scare people on Halloween. Now, okay, you could not have come up with Halloween, but Holi could have been dyed and used as a holy color. Would it not be? Anyone came up with that idea? No. You can do pranks, play pranks, whatever. So, do you see that as children, we do not have those barriers. But as adults, we slowly sabotage ourselves. So, this is a slightly neater summary of what we just discussed. In terms of creativity blocks, there could be emotional blocks. Courage. Yeah, let me not speak. मतलब लिखा भी हुआ है, but I will not speak this idea. See, I had to insist. नहीं, मेरे को सारों की लिस्ट बताओ जो आपने ऐड करी है. नहीं तो नहीं, लोग क्या सोचेंगे? कहीं पे करेज. या मैं कई बार एक आइडिया लिखते हुए ही, कैन आई राइट दिस? हुआ ऐसा किसी के साथ? कैन आई राइट दिस? Isn't it too bold for me? Doesn't suit my personality? I'm not used to being so bold. Then जजमेंटल एटीट्यूड. नहीं, ये आइडिया तो बेकार, बाकी लोग क्या सोचेंगे छोड़ो, ये आइडिया तो बेकार है. ऐसा सोचा? हाउ मेनी ऑफ यू रिजेक्टेड अ फ्यू आइडियाज बिकॉज ये तो बेकार है, इसको कौन लिखे? Judgmental attitude. Then some of us were not able to express. उसने प्रैंक्स लिखा, बट प्रैंक्स को एक्सप्रेस करने के, अब प्रैंक्स 10 तरह के प्रैंक्स कर सकते हो आप. So not, communication skills are another barrier to creativity. Not so good communication skills. Then cultural blocks. Oh, this is not how it is done. जैसे Halloween है, Halloween आपके माइंड में आना थोड़ा सा रेयर है। ओके, ट्रिपल आईटी में हम हैलोवीन मनाते हैं, बट स्टिल आई डोंट थिंक दैट इज कॉमन प्लेस in India. But something else could have come. Sometimes, oh, this does not blend with the ethics of my organization. How can a technical person like me think of such a funny idea? Hmm? हंस रही है. Then organizational hierarchy. अभी आप उसको फेस नहीं कर रहे हो, क्योंकि मैं अभी आपके साथ नहीं बैठा था आइडियाज जनरेट करने में. नहीं तो मैं कहता, अगर मैं यहाँ पे ये कहता कि ये आइडिया तो बेकार है, इस तरह के आइडियाज मत लिखो. In this classroom, I am at a hierarchically higher position than you. You can see that. So मैंने एक बार मना कर दिया किसी आइडिया के लिए, you will naturally not think in that direction now. You will say my boss will not approve of it, or my elders will not approve of it, or this one will not approve of it, or that one will not approve, because we seek approval as adults. जब बच्चे थे तो कहीं होता था अप्रूवल, बट डर नहीं था. हमारा जो रिलेशनशिप थी वो ट्रांजैक्शनल नहीं थी, वो दिल की रिलेशनशिप्स थी. अभी ट्रांजैक्शनल है, अरे सर को गुस्सा आ गया, पता नहीं ग्रेड का बैंड बजा देंगे. सो ऑर्गेनाइजेशनल हायरार्की, देन सेंस ऑफ व्हाट इज राइट एंड व्हाट इज रॉन्ग, कि नहीं ये तो गलत है यार, ऐसे प्रैंक करना तो गलत है, प्रैंक वाले आइडिया में क्यों यूज करूं बेकिंग सोडा को, है ना. ऐसा हो सकता है कि कुछ आइडिया आया लेकिन आपने कहा नहीं नहीं, दिस इज नॉट अ गुड यूज, एथिकली नॉट राइट. अभी मैंने ये नहीं कहा एथिकली राइट या नॉट राइट, मैंने कहा एज मेनी यूजर्स यू बिल्ट इन अ फिल्टर योरसेल्फ. देन मेनी टाइम्स जो मैं नॉलेज की बात कर रहा हूं, इंटेलेक्चुअल फेलियर्स, इंटेलेक्चुअल ब्लॉक्स, आपने पहले कभी कोई काम करा हुआ था, इट डिड नॉट वर्क दैट टाइम, नाउ यू विल नॉट रिपीट इट अगेन. हैव यू एक्सपीरियंस दिस? द कंडीशंस हैव चेंज्ड, एवरीथिंग हैज इवॉल्व्ड, but now you will not still use it. So there was an experiment that was done. There was yeah. So in that experiment, there was this a fence that was created, and a loaf of meat was put on this side, and the dog was brought in here. यहाँ पे जो वॉल थी वहां पे एक शीशा सा था, तो उसको मीट दिख रहा था. ओके, उसको मीट दिख रहा है, उसने यहां से 4 बार जाने की कोशिश करी, नहीं जा पाया, बहुत भूखा था, तो वो यहां से जाके मीट खा लिया. 1 दिन, 2 दिन, 5 दिन, 7 दिन, ऐसा हुआ. 8वें दिन यहाँ पे जो ग्लास का पार्टीशन था वो हटा दिया गया. अब उसको यहाँ पे मीट दिख रहा है, लेकिन वो फिर भी यहां से गया. So we also operate like dogs at times. Our past failures condition us to not to try the same idea again, even though the conditions have evolved, changed, and that same idea is now possible.
So maybe the sense of security within ourselves stops us, right?
Yeah, fear of failure. पहले मैं 7 दिन फेल कर गया, 8वें दिन क्यों फेल करूं? Am I right? Then कई बार lack of complete information on subject या no information about subject. ऐसा भी बहुतों के साथ हुआ कि बेकिंग सोडा कैसे यूज करेंगे पता नहीं, छोड़ देते हैं. बट देन इतने सारे और का यूज सुन के भी नहीं यूज करा, बिकॉज नॉट इन्वेंटेड हेयर सिंड्रोम किक देम. बट व्हाट बूस्ट क्रिएटिविटी? सो एक्चुअली डिफरिंग जजमेंट, कि नहीं सोचना सही है कि गलत है. थिंकिंग अबाउट एज मेनी आइडियाज एज पॉसिबल, इलाबोरेटिंग अलग अलग सिचुएशंस में, अलग अलग जगह पे. अच्छा, क्या मैं इसको नान बनाने में यूज कर सकता हूँ? कर सकता हूँ। नान, मेकिंग नान। क्या मैं इसको इडली बनाने में यूज कर सकता हूँ? ओके, इडली। ऐसे 10 चीजें तो मैं खाने की लिख दूंगा बेकिंग सोडा के साथ। 20 आइडियाज कहाँ गए? Is it not? And they're all different uses. Then, uh, flexibility, open-mindedness, your comfort with pivoting into an uncomfortable space. You've never been there, but still let me pivot. Let me see if it will work. Basically, ready to start fresh. A child doesn't have this botheration, ना, क्योंकि child ने तो पहली बार ट्राई करा, वो कुछ भी ट्राई कर सकता है. He is not ever experienced failure. आप लोग कर चुके हो. More failures you experience, more rigid you may become. Is it not? ये वो तो डायरेक्शन ही खराब है. अरे जो पाथवे आपने लिया था शायद वो टूटा हुआ था, उसी के बगल में दूसरा था, पगडंडी थी, एक वहां से जा सकते थे. बस हमने जब ट्राई करा तो टाइम नहीं था, वी डिडंट इवन एक्सप्लोर कि पगडंडी है कि नहीं है. आर यू विद मी? सो फर्स्ट स्टेप इज बीइंग अवेयर ऑफ where we are, what we are. So in the Google Classroom, just a little while before the class started, I sent 2 links. Any one of you could attempt those tests? Both? Hmm? Only one. Okay. Do you have your laptops or machines with you? Those of you who have not attempted that test, would you want to attempt that? Hmm? Okay, do that later. Most of you have already done. So these were the 2 tests that I had sent on the Google Classroom. You can check them out if you have not done that yet. So the first test gave you a radar chart. Huh? All of you saw your radar chart? What was your scores? 69.8, 67, 68, 77, 58, 64, 65.
Options I could guess which one to choose to get a higher score.
Mm-hmm. What was your score?
The score was 60, but then I gave it 20.
Initial score was 60, but then you gamed it and became 80.
But then I knew.
Okay. So that was gaming the system, but your score was 60. You know that. Okay. What else? Others?
But as I was using each option, I knew which one would get me a higher score.
See, it's like this. Is this test for someone else? I'm asking you the scores. Do I even remember किसने कहाँ क्या score बोला? Would you remember किसने क्या score बोला?
But I couldn't tell you what is my true score then because I can't say that.
See, every test, every psychometric test or any test that you do, you can always game it. There are some tools which are extremely powerful. If you are interested in some tools to know what you are, I can share some tools with you. There are some tools which are really, really powerful जो आपके इस तरह के cheating को काट देते हैं. They slash them out कि ये तो गलत, ऐसा तो हो ही नहीं सकता because ये तो बस game करा जा रहा है. But those are very complex tools and they're very costly also. Okay. But typically जो free tools होंगे, they will not have those guardrails built in. So I would say that the first attempt or a truthful attempt from your side is what is required to use them well. You can't use them or to test other people for, for example, if I really want to rate your creativity and I say मैं आपसे आपके midsem exam में ये test भरवाऊंगा, I can't use it like that. It doesn't have the guardrails. It doesn't have the barriers to prevent you from doing it wrong. It's a thing that well-meaning people have to do. So I would say if you've done this already, it's fine. If you've not done this, please attempt it. Okay. Whatever your score, The important thing to understand with this particular test or the radar chart that you get in the end is that creativity can be understood to operate along so many dimensions. Each one of you would have a unique pattern, a unique radar chart on these 9 axes. Okay? Someone of you will be very strong on perspective, someone else on boldness, someone else on abstraction. What is important to understand it is what is my strength and which is my weakness. How can I play upon my strengths and remain creative and work on my weaknesses so that they do not block me from being creative? Are you with me? So, what do you understand by the axis of abstraction? This should be easy. अभी हम सुबह मतलब when we started the session यही discuss कर रहे हैं. Abstraction.
Showing the details that are necessary, like hiding unnecessary.
Generalizing things. हमने कहा level of abstraction change कर देना. Technical contradiction, physical contradiction, substance field. What have we done? We've removed the more and more details. Gone to different level of abstraction and then came back. The ease with which you are able to flex helps you to be more creative. Now, do you realize what Altshuler did? जो लोग abstraction में strong नहीं भी थे, he gave them tools. Okay, this is how you arrive at the physical contradiction. It's not intuitive to you? Let me help you. Step-by-step guide. From this is how you arrive at substance field model. Step-by-step guide. So TRIZ, even if you are weak in abstraction somewhere, TRIZ will help you boost up. If you're already strong, great. It will help you still further. Then connection. What do you understand by the term connection over here? Connecting the dots, okay. You have small pieces of information available at different places. Being able to find a pattern, connect the dots. Okay, what else could connection mean?
How social just part of the system, part of the group.
To be able to understand that there is no one independent part. There are many things that are linked and there are connections. मैं इसको भी change करूंगा तो वहां पे कुछ impact आएगा. So अगर मुझे impact लाना है तो that is not the only place. This thing is connected to so many other places. I could trigger some impact from other places also. That sense of connection. चीजें अकेले में नहीं exist करती हैं. What else could connection mean? Exploring more ideas. So that is what is creativity anyways. More ideas you come up with, that is you're more creative. So connection also means that, remember the problem of orchards and monkeys and that of hydrofoils and cavitation? They don't appear to be connected. But do you realize that Altshuler was able to see a connection between them, that they are exactly the same? So abstraction plus connection led him to that place. Then perspective. Different point of views. How will a school-going child use baking soda? How will a 90-year-old person use baking soda? If I were to look at baking soda from under the table, how would it look like? Changing the frames, changing how would a different person or a different use case use the same resource. If this problem was faced by this person, suppose महात्मा गांधी को हमने ये प्रॉब्लम बताई होती तो वो उसको कैसे सॉल्व करते? अल्बर्ट आइंस्टाइन को बताई होती तो वो उसे कैसे सॉल्व करते? So perspectives. To be able to think of it from different perspectives. Curiosity. This is simple. willingness to explore, asking why, what, how, naturally asking. ये नहीं कि हाँ बस जो बता दिया वो हो गया. Curiosity is a very, very important part of creativity over here. Then boldness. This we discussed. हमने बात करी थी कि किसको लगा कि मैं कैसे बोल दूं, ये तो बड़ा bold है. I'm not the one who can take such bold statements forward. Boldness. Paradox. यही जो अभी हमने बात करी. Too much of knowledge is bad, too little knowledge is bad. Too much of time is bad, too little time is bad. Paradox. कि अब टाइम क्या दादा कि कम, अब कहाँ कहाँ बिठाऊं उसको. And to be able to be comfortable with this paradox. Many people, they want a clear black and white answer. ये या ये. To be able to say, हाँ थोड़ा सा ये, थोड़ा सा ये. Is it not? Now, even the other test, how many of you did the Adobe wala test? So it was asking you this or that. That's very uncomfortable. How can I say this or that? And this also and that also. How many of you felt like this? है ना? To be able to handle such contradictions कि ये क्या है, मतलब दोनों चीजें होती हैं ना. They are not opposite things. They can coexist. So दोनों, जब तक आप ये नहीं समझोगे कि the tip of the lock can be sharp and it can be blunt also, how will you arrive at a solution that, okay, let me put an explosive inside it? If you're not comfortable with paradoxes, how will you handle contradictions? Creative people are fluid with handling contradictions. Another contradiction, we'll solve it. Again, you see, Triz simply says, okay, you're not comfortable, I will tell you how to solve it. I will give you rules. It's codified everything so that you can go beyond your emotional blocks, mental blocks, and still be able to come up with inventive solutions. Complexity. What do you understand by the term complexity? Sometimes complexity could be about scale. इतने सारे nodes हैं आपस में interact कर रहे हैं, किसका किसके इतने सारे बीच में interactions चल रहे हैं, किसका किस पे कितना impact है, how difficult it is to even estimate. How do I handle this? That is complexity. And again, you will see in this course, we'll have a tool called function modeling, which will be able to simply tuck, 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 mechanically handle complexity. Nahi hua? Okay, let's go to the subsystem level, solve it there. Super system level, solve it there. So many things we will be able to do. And persistence. Keeping at it. लगे रहना. जो हमने डॉग का एग्जाम्पल लिया, 5 दिन बाद उसने बंद कर दिया. लगा रहता तो 8वें दिन सीधा निकल जाता ना. वो कह रहा है तो ग्लास तोड़ देता. सही. If you are at it, you may actually break the barriers. You can break the limitations yourself also. At times, those limitations will naturally vanish. See, today technology is progressing at such a fast pace. What was not possible a few, even months back, is today possible. Forget about decades. Forget about centuries. मतलब वो तो बात ही नहीं कर रहे. 2 महीना पहले भी जो चीज possible नहीं थी, आज the way the technology is progressing, it is easy. Is it not? एक नया फीचर आता है नोटबुक एलएम में और देखो आपके पास एक समरी आनी शुरू हो गई क्लास की स्टार्ट में. ये हंस रहा है. हाँ. So I would say you reflect upon each one of your dimensions. Each one of you have your radar chart. I don't need to see that. You work on yourself. It's a reflection of where you might be weak. Again, I remember when I did it for the first time, I had never heard about this cute little animal called armadillo. And I was like, what is this? इसके साथ अब मेरे को कोई term relate करनी है. What do I relate? I was clueless. So after the test, I actually went online, searched what is this, उसको देखा कैसा दिखता है, तो मैंने कहा अच्छा अच्छा, it has a armor around it and it is a small animal, ये this. तो फिर जब अगली बार मैंने टेस्ट दिया तो now this knowledge limitation was not there. So it could be that आपने अभी कुछ क्वेश्चंस के जवाब ना दे पाए हो बिकॉज कहीं पे नॉलेज गैप था, कहीं पे कल्चरल गैप था, कुछ भी था. सो आई वुड से डू नॉट ट्राई टू गेट मोर स्कोर. You simply see that, okay, अब वो गैप खत्म हो गया, मैंने पढ़ लिया उसके बारे में. Now if I go into it, now what is my score? Don't try to game the system. But हाँ, जो आप में कमी थी in terms of कि मेरे को ये समझ में, इस क्वेश्चन ही नहीं समझ में आया, उनको रिजॉल्व करके you can give the test again. But gaming the system, you're gaming yourself, no one else. No one is interested in how big a score you are getting. This test is being, you are being asked to give this test to yourself so that you can see where you are weak and where you are strong. Are you with me? So, if you do the Adobe test, it will also ask you some questions and it will give you different kinds of, it will label you into some types of creativity. हंसी मजाक है, पढ़ लेना, don't get labeled. Okay. So, see, this is one challenge with these tests, which would kind of try to label you. And in fact, I will tell you about another labeling test, which we will not do, but it's a very small one, but we will not do, and I will talk to you about it. But कई बार क्या होता है, we get trapped into the label that we have got. So there is this Greg Mayer's personality type test, okay, जिसमें आपको ENFJ और INFJ और अलग-अलग personality types label कर दिए जाते हैं. So in my experience, that's a very stable test that doesn't change much over time, but you can always work on yourself and change your personality a little. It's a personality test, okay? Now, do you realize personality is something that you have created? Personality is a kind of a mask you wear in front of others. For how many of you, you are one kind of a person over here, another kind of a person with your friends, and a completely different kind of person in your home? All of you. You see? What are we doing? Now, does it mean we are not being authentic? No, nothing like that. All of us over the years have realized that in one particular setting, one kind of a mask works, another kind of a setting, another kind of an attire works, another kind of a setting, another kind of an attire works. So our personality is like clothes. Most of the time, we wear it unconsciously. Most of the time. If you choose to wear them consciously, then whatever situation you enter in, you will be able to navigate easily. Is it not? So, same thing about these labels. Don't get tied down with them. You can always flex and operate differently. Are you with me? So, there's another test which would label you as an elephant or a frog. Okay. So, but this is still, it's a very broad category it is putting you in. An elephant walks slowly. And because of its size, it only treads safe paths. Do you see that? It would walk slowly in a determined manner and would take small steps. A frog, on the other hand, is small, jumps. One idea, second idea, third idea, fourth idea. Hmm? And both are actually equally creative. Okay, not I would not use the word creative, equally successful with good ideas. An elephant follows a process, tuck, 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 and comes up with working solutions. A frog has no process in mind. It says ये करके देखें, वो करके देखें, वो करके देखें, वो करके देखें. वो इतने सारे आइडियाज एक्सप्लोर करता है कि कुछ ना कुछ तो वो करेगा और कर जाता है. In typical parlance, in typical understanding, we say that this frog is more creative. Yes, because it comes up with more number of ideas. And creativity is typically linked with number of ideas you can create. But in business environments, just being creative doesn't answer my question, doesn't solve the problem there. In any business context, in any context, in those terms, finally what matters is, did I arrive at the right solution? Is it not?
Sir, maybe in most cases, the use of resources may vary.
So he's saying that a frog may use different kinds of resources, elephant may use different kind of resources. Yes.
And amount used.
Yes. But finally, for an organization, what is important is, did I get the right solution? And when the frog comes up with so many ideas, with more ideas, you also know that, okay, I have to quickly see. I know everything will not work. So I will spend just little time on evaluating every idea and then say, this seems to work, let me go with it. An elephant, on the other hand, says, nahi, process. So आपको आपके दिमाग में आइडिया आ भी रहा है, वो कह रहे नहीं नहीं नहीं, उस आइडिया को छोड़ो अभी. Let us first look at the problem. Let us first analyze the problem. Let us first see the context. Let us first understand the user need. Now let us see which idea fits in. तो आपके पास पहले दिन भी आइडिया था, लेकिन 5 दिन लगाए जस्ट टू अराइव एट, ओके नव आइडिया बताओ. उसने एक फ्रेमवर्क क्रिएट कर दिया. अब जो भी आइडिया उस फ्रेमवर्क में फिट होगा, दैट विल एनीवेज वर्क. अदरवाइज फ्रॉक की तरह आप 50 आइडिया लाते और 50 को आप फिर 50 में से बाकी 49 को रिजेक्ट करते. आपको भी 5 दिन लगते, उसको भी 5 दिन लगे. With same number of people, same resources. This is a situation I'm creating for you. But what is important for us to understand is, each one of us has a unique style. I was talking about this in the MDT class on the first day, that someone might have an adapter style. They are like very process oriented, idhar, udhar, idhar, udhar, ek tarah se jayenge. But someone of you could be frog style. तो ऐसा कर सकते हैं क्या? ऐसा कर सकते हैं. So how many of you, मैं आप तो अपने आप को जानते हो. How many of you think you are elephant style? Slow, steady, but focused approach. How many of you think you are frog style? So you flex. So now imagine करो कि आप बिल्कुल frog type हो और आपका जो मैनेजर है वो elephant type है. तो अगर आप इस डिस्टिंक्शन को समझोगे नहीं, you will torture yourself. But if you understand that, okay, he's an elephant type, if I behave like a frog in front of that person, I'm going to struggle. वो तो boss है, hierarchically, that person has more power than me. But if you can flex, like Arpit said, I flex between the two. Then again, you're wearing this label as a gown, as a cloth in front over yourself. You change it depending on who is in front of you. Are you able to see this? But to be able to realize that, okay, I am this and that person is that, and I need to wear that gown when I'm interacting with that person, you first need to be aware that, okay, this is also a way to look at things. Otherwise, you are simply struggling, यार मैं इतना सारे ideas दे रहा हूँ, this person is not even listening to those ideas. वो कह रहा है पहले ये करके ला, पहले वाली शीट बना के ला, पहले वाली शीट बना के ला. आइडिया सुन तो लो. अरे भाई, that person is an elephant. He will not listen to you unless you follow the process. You will not struggle. Are you getting this? Any one of you has experienced something like this? Parents के साथ, friends के साथ, किसी के साथ? ये क्या है, मैं इतना बोल रहा हूँ, और या पता नहीं क्या है, हर समय कुछ कुछ बकर बकर करता रहता है, काम करता नहीं है, आइडियाज फेंकता रहता है, कुछ काम नहीं करते इसके आइडियाज। 50 आइडियाज देता है, दो ही काम करते हैं, सीधा दो देता है ना, ऐसा हुआ है। सो दैट इज व्हाट इज हैपनिंग।